AG Sports Video presents live from Southern California, the battle for the #1 spot. Prepare yourself for the ultimate battle as both teams seek the top spot. AG Sports presents Southern California football. AG Sports Video presents live from Southern California, the battle for the #1 spot. Prepare yourself for the ultimate battle as both teams seek the top spot. AG Sports presents Southern California football.
I'm on the 45. What are we doing here? They're on the line. 45. Guys, let's do it right. Let's do it right. Line up in a straight line. Line them up straight. Straight line. Okay. Straight line. There we go. Guys, shake hands.
What happened? What happened? Speed!
All right, guys. Find out your chest on this side.
Okay.
Guys, I'm John, the referee. Gentlemen, we're not the game, but please keep sportsmanship. That's the main thing I want to say. Play football, play hard, but maintain sportsmanship. Please, I'm not saying not to celebrate with your teammates, but do not taunt the other team. Please, because I'll get that. Okay, please. I want to maintain order.
Perfect. One part still breathing too hard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Locke High School Ldfl Game of the Week. And the ball's up in the air, back deep to receive. Number 6 takes it across the 10-yard, crosses the 15, 20, a nice block there. Gets out across the 30, about the 36-yard line to start this one. Another great ball game. And beautiful Los Angeles. It's about the way that it looked the last time I was here, just a few more clouds, but nothing that's going to harm us. Beautiful view of Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles to be exact, as these young men come out here to work their developmental football prowess. So we have a 1st and 10 for the Silverbacks, coming down from San Diego today, or it's actually coming up from San Diego today. So we have a quarterback under center, something we don't see much at this level. Two backs, big fullback. Pitches the big number 45. He goes around the right side, and the defense comes swarming. And I think they had 9 folks in pursuit on that particular play. So that's what you call gang defense there for the Warriors. So it's going to bring up second down. It looks like he lost a yard on that play. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11 for the Silverbacks. Silverbacks today led by Coach Lim. Lim is a big-time name down there in the San Diego area, as well as in this developmental football league. So as we come back, once again, we're in I formation, big body fullback sitting there. And it's another handoff, so they're going to rely on his run game. And he actually breaks the tackle 4-5 to the outside, and he keeps going. Legs keep going. They're going after the ball here. He holds on to it, and a gain of 12 for a first down for the Silverbacks. Once again, while we have this moment, we're going to let you know a little bit about the Ldfl Football League and what it means and the opportunities that it presents for these young men, the ones that stand out. They do have a lot of other opportunities to go and play professionally at different levels. So this is what we like to see them come together and do different things, different formations. Once again, this is I formation with a tight end. And looks like, yeah, man-to-man coverage on the outside is another handoff. Defense comes in again, and folks are attempting to make tackles with their head down, and so now we have a penalty flag on that particular play. So we're going to hold everything. It looks like we had a loss on the play. However, there is a penalty flag, and we'll wait for the preliminary signal from the white hat here. Typically in that situation, it's a late hit, personal foul. And that's exactly what it was, is dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 99. So they're going to mark that off 15 yards. So where you had a loss on the run, which I think we've had 3 consecutive run plays, have not had a pass play this game yet. We now have a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Warriors. So that's going to move them back. We talked about this before. A couple weeks ago, we had an Ldfl game from this same location, and that was one of the discussions that we had, was ensuring that the poise was kept and you limit penalties. You don't want to give away free yards. So another thing that I enjoy about the Ldfl is they actually have a camera on the field, so it gives you a different viewpoint and perspective of the game. So at any rate, we now have split backs and shotgun formation, so we changed the formation up. And he rolls to his right, he dumps it off, he gets it off to his big body running back on that one. And the whitehead comes over and emphatically says that that is an incomplete pass. So I'm not sure here why the sticks, and I think they're fixing that now, because they had the sticks back 5 yards. The down marker was 5 yards beyond the initial part of the first down marker, so they've fixed that now. So there was obviously incomplete pass, so there's no gain on that play. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Silverbacks. Looks like the defense is coming out in a shade of a cover 2, just off the hashes. Shotgun formation again, offset backs, gives the big number 45 again, and 99 is not having any of it. Read that play. That's almost all run plays here, with the exception of the swing pass, which is just an extended run in my opinion. So looks like they're counting on their big body backs to do a couple things. One, to gain yards and wear down the interior line, and secondly, to wear down the defense. So at any rate, the Silverbacks of San Diego call a timeout. That's going to be their first timeout of the half. And with 11:10 remaining in the first quarter, you have no score. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, folks. We're back. It's third and long, third and about 13. Quarterback is back under center. Gets a snap. It's a pitch out to the left. Sitting here picking his runs, his run lanes. Keeps his legs going. And a tackle comes up late from number 43. Not late illegally, but just late after the pile, so there was nothing wrong with that play. Nice and clean hit. Brings up, should be fourth down, long, about 10:40 remaining in the first quarter and no score. So like many of these games, they actually go for it on fourth down, and let's see if this this stays the same here. So this is an offset I for the Silverbacks. Now it's I formation as he resets, fullback resets. And wow, that play 99, there is no defense for that young man right now. He just comes in, shot the gap, sack, plays over. So be a turnover on downs, just over 10 minutes left in the first quarter. No score from Locke High School. Okay, folks, we're back. And after that turnover on downs, big 99 from the Warriors with the sack there. He's been making quite a few plays. Had a penalty, but he also made a big play. So now the offense, where the Warriors have the ball, and they just put one up in the air, and he tries to get out there for number 11, Darius Barlow. Just a little bit too far for him. And I'll tell you, that young man is fast. I coach him myself, so I do know how fast he is. So if you out throw him, that's a pretty good arm. Anyway, that was a free play there as the defense was clearly offside, so that's going to bring up another first down, and it should bring up a 1st and 5 as that was a free play. 9:19 left in the first quarter, still no score from Los Angeles. Once again, they break the huddle. Looks like they're more than likely going to have a stack formation here to the boundary. They do. Shotgun, 2 backs. Isolated receiver, top side, handoff right up the middle. Keeps his legs going. Pretty good carry on 1st and 5. Looks like a gain of 3. It's going to bring up 2nd and a short 2. 2nd and a short 2 for the Warriors. Somewhat of a hurry-up offense there where he lines up there in the gun, 2 backs, max protection, sits there, holds the ball, puts it down to his side, and he just throws the ball. And one of the things that we would recommend here is just working on the mechanics of where he actually has the ball from the snap, once he gathers the ball, and to make sure that he's ready to throw the ball at all times. You don't want to go through the excess motion of having to either bring the ball up or down in trying to find your release point. So that's one of the things. So what we'll do is we'll give some pointers and some things that I may notice from the box that I see as far as a developmental game, things that they can take back and continuously improve upon. That's something that we all should do, I guess, not only in football but in life, is just try to improve daily, right? So as they try to improve their field position, it's currently 3rd down, a short 2. Shotgun gives it to the big man right up the middle, big number 1, who had a big game last couple weeks ago. Well over the 1st down marker. 1st down, Warriors. And the objective to actually going in the hurry-up offense is these young men, they work for a living, right? So they're not always able to get out to the gym and do their running and cardio and so forth, so you try to wear them down early and see what you can get. So once again, it's a stop-and-go route, top side, and the quarterback just keeps it himself, and he says, I'll take what I can get. And he gains about 5 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Warriors. So one of the playmakers for the Warriors, and you noticed him a moment ago on the penalty play where they tried to, it was a free play where they tried to get the ball deep, was to number 11, Darius Barlow, and overthrew him there, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go back to him again at some point today. So the Silverbacks line up. Both corners are off. Safety is single safety, looks like a cover 3. Number 5 just keeps his legs going, and they're tackling high on the defense, and that's why they're able to continue to run. So it looks like they're going to be just short of a first down on that play. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 1 for first down for the Warriors. 6:39 remaining in the first quarter, still no score. Ball on the 38-yard line going in. So field side has twins, passes low. Set your feet, young man. So on this play, if we could, if we look back, we get a chance to look back at those type of plays, what you'll see is you have a launch point for your quarterback, and he has to find his platform. And once you locate your platform, you set your feet, and then you're able to throw the ball. And you have to understand that throwing the ball is not only with your arm, right? It's the whole body mechanic, how you turn your feet, how you power out with your legs, hips, and your explosion and so forth. So that's what they're going to push the clock back up here just to make sure that we don't have a problem. So they're working that right now. So 5:50 left in the first quarter. 4th down, believe it or not, after a pretty good start on the drive. A lot of movement. Now, I saw top side receiver move, but I'm not sure if that wasn't anticipated by the defense. But looks like the boundary receiver took a step right in front of the referee, and that's something you don't want to do if you don't want one of those yellow things to come out on the play, and that's exactly what happened there. So it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6, and once again, punters have no action here. So they're going to go and gun again, max protect, twins to the field side, single receiver to the boundary. Boundary receiver takes off and stops right at just beyond the sticks. Takes a shake. He has the first down if he can maintain his footwork, and he does, and that's going to be a first down for the Warriors. Once again, no huddle. That tells you that they've practiced. You don't run this without practice, right? So we have a stack formation on the field side, motion coming from the left to right. He's searching for, that play looked like it was devastated from the beginning. Big number 73 comes in there and wraps up the quarterback on the tackle. And I can tell you, Coach was not happy about that one. He pulls a couple folks off the field and quickly replaces them. So that's a good sign. That tells you the teams are practicing during the week and they're working on their craft. And that's evident by the replacements. You don't see a whole bunch of folks not knowing where to go. They know the formations, they're calling the formations and so forth. So they've done some prep work during the week, and that's always good to see. At any rate, we have trips to the right for the offense, single back off to the quarterback's right in shotgun formation, but you have a single receiver top side. So let's see what happens there. A lot of times you will see the slant. And in this case, he rolls to the right, so that slant's gone. So once again, he gets the ball off. Barlow's on the ground. When he catches it, he shakes one off and runs for a few more yards, and looks like he's going to have a first down. Absolutely, loudly said by the side judge, first down for the Warriors. So that was one of those plays where he may have been looking to his left initially, but decided to come back to his right. Once again, has to get on platform so he can throw that ball properly. But Darius Barlow, being the athlete that he is, was able to scoop that up, and no one was there on him because they give him that type of respect, so they play off of him, which made him he was then able to get up, shake a couple tackles, and get the first down. Anyway, so we're at first down on the 18-yard line for the Warriors. Shotgun give to big number 1. Tries to keep the legs going, and his progress was stopped, so they went ahead and they blew that one dead. But with his progress being stopped, the defense of the Silverbacks were just like a Silverback would, going after the ball. So it's exactly what they did there. Coach is a little upset that they blew the whistle there, just because the thought process is that would have resulted in a fumble there. So progress was stopped, so I can see both sides of that argument. Anyway, it is second down. They mark him back now, a loss of 4 yards, still in shotgun, back off to his left. Twins to the left. And as soon as I say that, they bring their running back over to the right, so thinking that their threat may be there. So he's holding the ball out again, and he had his outlet receiver on that, but looks like he had a focus going down the field, and that's where you go through your progressions, but you always know, even though you're going through your intermediate progressions, you always know that you should have a release valve, which he did on that particular play. So when they go back and look at the film on that, they'll see that they can more than likely come back to that at some other time. Even though I know when I played the game, I would lay low just a little bit to make you think that you were open before I would creep up, so maybe that was the case there. So at any rate, just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter, 0-0 score, shotgun. Ball's a little low, he picks it up, and the Silverbacks are playing like Silverbacks do. Another sack of the quarterback. So now it's going to bring up a fourth down for the Warriors. So it looks like there's going to be a timeout called. So this is kind of how that works. You can come out in that offense, and it can work for you a couple different ways. It can work for you as you're progressing down the field, and then you also tire yourself out. And I think that may have been what happened here. So they went ahead and they called their first timeout. So each team has called a timeout in the first quarter. 1:34 left in the first quarter. No score from Los Angeles. We'll be back in a moment. Well, folks, they wind the clock. We're back. 1:34 remaining, shotgun formation, running back off to the right, trips to the right. Everybody's basically to the right. He lets the ball go. It's just up there in the air. Somebody's going to come down with it, but it wasn't the team that he intended. Intercepted, and he's going up the field. There's a penalty flag on the play. Number 33 with the pick. Read it the whole time, looked it in, got it, set his feet, and took off. So nice interception there by the Silverbacks. We're going to see what the end result of the play. I think the interception will stand, but they'll probably mark it back for potential holding penalty here. So we'll see here in a second. 1:22 left in the first quarter. Right, so it was looks like an illegal block in the back. So it's going to mark him back, and that's going to go from the spot. And that's one of those situations we talked about a little earlier about him staying on platform, getting his feet set and releasing the ball. And what happened, he did not do that. So the ball just floats right up in the air. And we have a slight breeze from left to right, so that may have contributed to that. But he has to get his feet set. That's the bottom line. So they're going to mark this one back here. And it's going to be a turnover on the interception by big number 33. Nice return by him, so at least he has it on tape. 1:22 left. They'll have the ball on about the 32-yard line. So the white hat looks to sort it out and get everyone off the field. They look like they have everything in control. And making sure that the sticks are where they need to be. They're running the clock. And the clock is running. I have a little activity in the air here. So I'm sorry about the noise behind me, folks. The pass number 3 gets it out. Oh, what a hit. Big 43 Warriors racking and stacking there. That's a good play. It was a good swing pass, so he caught his check down. Receiver tried to make a move, but that was a solid tackle. Tucked his tail, locked him, lifted him, and drove him into the ground. So that's good football play, and that's what we're doing. Developmental league, that's what you want to do. You want to develop proper techniques, tackling techniques, ball carrying techniques, passing techniques, coverage techniques, footwork, everything. So that's good to see here. That was a solid tackle. So it seemed like they run two linebackers here. They bring one up, so they have more in the box there immediately. Nice chop block by 76, and he just goes to throw that one off in 3, and that one's incomplete, so it's going to bring up a third down. We're probably going to leave it right about there. I doubt they're going to get another play off in this quarter. About 10 seconds remaining, and they have some replacements coming in, and by the time they do that, I'm sure this one's going to expire. So we're going to be at the end of one quarter. Silverbacks 0, Warriors 0. We'll see you in a moment. We're back, folks, for the start of the second quarter. Once again, we have shotgun formation for the Silverbacks. Give is right up the middle, stacked up by a host of Lions. Got it. So it's going to bring up, looks like a 4th down and long for the Silverbacks. So a little earlier, we were talking about some of the players and a couple of big plays that we had, and one was by number 43 of the Lions, Shea Breeze, and I spoke to the coaching staff earlier before the game. They were pretty excited and saying what they saw in this young man, and said that he was a playmaker and a hitter, and sure enough, he's proved to be just that here. So at any rate, it's about 4th and a long 9. We're going to call it 4th and 10 for the Silverbacks. Back deep to receive for the Lions is number 11, Darius Barlow. Also, you have Rico Miranda up in a corner position. So they're doubling on the Gunners here on one side, single on the other. It's actually a good snap. Well, he kicks it, bobbles it. He still gets the ball off, but they're going to call fire and probably get away from that one. And number 13 picks it up anyway. That was number 13, McGillor. DB at 5'7", 155, out of Los Angeles, California. So instead of just letting the ball roll around, he wanted to be a playmaker, and he picks up the ball, and he carries it for about 5 yards on that particular play. So the Lions, acting like Lions do. Thank you, TR, L-Dub, appreciate you. Got a lot of folks viewing today. Really appreciate. You can be a lot of places on a beautiful Saturday, but you chose to be here, and we really appreciate you. 3:13:15 left in the second quarter. This clock is really rolling today. So shotgun formation. It's a run. Number 30 takes it around, rumbling and stumbling, keeping those legs going. It looks like if you're running back, 5'8", 190, out of Southwest. A lot of young men out of Southwest that I've never met, so that's always interesting. But at any rate, it's going to bring up second down. Solid carry by that young man. Looks like a gain of about 6, going to bring up a second down and 4. Shotgun formation, backs to both sides. Must have a tight end. Actually, no, they're doubles to the left, to the wide side of the field. He actually takes a look. He pumps it short, and it's a wow, that's an incredible play where, once again, he's not on platform throwing the ball, throws it up. It almost looked like an end-over-end pass, and at any rate, Darius Barlow tried to catch it anyway and just came up short on that. So those are the plays that can change the tide of a game, just based upon the fact you're just throwing the ball up in the air, and that means anyone can have that. So it's going to bring up a third and about 4 yards for the Lions as they come out. And it looks like trips to the left, single big back. That's Big Thurston Hollis II. Now he goes off to the right of the quarterback, max protection, single receiver up top, third down, rolls back, goes to set his feet, sets his feet twice, and throws it once again off platform. Number 4 for the Silverbacks, that's Hector Diablo. I have him listed as a tight end, but he must be one of those players that can play both sides of the ball, out of Cal Lutheran. So he's gonna be upset. He'll look at the stat sheet and see that he had a pass breakup, but he'll know that he should have had an interception there. 11:35 remaining in the first half of this one. LDFL game of the week. Once again, trips to the left, single back gun. He's in a deep gun, by the way. I notice he takes a step up, looks back, looking to his left the whole time, decides to throw the ball, and one receiver fell, and the other one looked at the ball as to say that wasn't coming to me, so why am I in this area? That pass was intended to Damon Thomas out of Pierce College for the Lions. So the Lions actually come out, and looks like there's a turnover on downs. So once again, that's another fourth down stop for the Silverbacks. So this looks like a well-matched up contest, and maybe that's why they called it the game of the week, because that's exactly how it seems from the defensive perspective. I'm pretty sure the offense will get everything in line in a moment. Just like any other football, the defense normally gels first. It's easier to destroy than it is to build, and because of that, maybe that's the case here, but we're well into this season. So let's see what we have from the Silverbacks with the ball. It's another handoff. And 99 is a problem for the Lions. And a couple hits there, and they all peel off, help each other up. So it looks like, we had a discussion in the offseason about LDFL football, and one of the things that they said was they wanted to ensure that there was, no funny business. The guys are going out there developing, having a good time. But what I did notice in that particular play is you have players on the opposing team helping each other up, and the sportsmanship. We have quite a few fans here looking on tonight, and that's exactly what you want to see. Positive things, these young men, as we look at this 2nd and 14 for the Silverbacks. Shotgun formation, single back. As he adjusts his helmet, he looks back. He's looking to his left the whole time. Pretty spiral. Gets it out there, but nobody's home. Wide receiver was a little off. I think he had to change his route based upon the defensive coverage there. And the quarterback decided to safely just go ahead and toss that ball out of bounds. That's Kelvin Lewis. and marked at 6 feet 200 out of Oregon. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 14 now. Ball on 35-yard line. 9:41 left in the first half of this contest from beautiful Los Angeles. Winds blowing from your left to right as the Silverbacks go from the left to right. Officiating crews seem to have a pretty good communication line going on, which is always good to see. So a lot of positives today. 3rd and 14. Shotgun formation. He looks to his right last. He actually hands it off to the big body back number 7. And what I noticed, number 49 came up on the tackle there. And what I noticed is the running back, when he's running, it looks like when he sees contact coming, he stops his feet. And that's actually when you should actually dig deeper and accelerate, because you can assume that that defender may slow down. And once you do that, it's force, inertia, and everything else. So at any rate, we're going to stop play here. We're at about 9:18 left in the first half. We have an injury timeout. Young man from the Silverbacks is in a little bit of pain. And we're going to pause for station identification, and we'll be back in a moment with 9:18 left in the first half. 4th and 15 for the Silverbacks. No score.
This is a recording.
We're back, folks. Second quarter action from Briscoe Clark Field in beautiful Los Angeles, California, where we have a tie ball game. 9:18 left in the first half of this Ldfl game of the week. After a brief injury timeout, the young man is carried off the field. Looks like he's going to be okay. The Silverbacks are in punt formation. He actually catches this snap, and he actually gets off a pretty good kick there. So the dangerous Darius Barlow is back to receive. He takes it after one hop. Goes off to his left. He has a whole bunch of folks chasing him. There he goes, and number 30 on the tackle for the Silverbacks. So they basically pursued him over to the sideline. So I guess the objective there is not let him hit the middle of the field and to box him out and make him go one way, and that way you feed him into the sideline. Sideline acts as an extra defender. So as we look to defend the time here, we're at about 8:35 left in the second quarter of this contest. Let's see what the Lions do with this particular possession. Looks like their big body running back, Thurston Hollis II, is where is number 1, and as well as number 11. Darius Barlow come off the field. So you have to think they're running trips to the right. Your star receiver is off the field. So do you think it's a quick pass here or a handoff? And it is a quick pass, as I expected. Gets the ball out. But I tell you, he sat there, he caught that pass, and he just looked at the defender, threw him off, and kept going there. Looks like he may have still, even after that, got back to the line of scrimmage. About 7:53 left in the second quarter of this contest. That's Mindoro out of Long Beach Poly. Star outside of there, 7:53 left. So now they flip the field and they go trips to the left. Inside number 3 receiver looks like he has action here just based upon his stance, and he runs the out route, and he's running around, so they're going to see who's going to stay active here. There's a clean block. Oh, they strip him. They strip him. Big number 73 picks up the ball, and I have no idea why he just blew the whistle. I have no idea why he blew the whistle on that one. That was a clear strip. Ball recovered by number 73. He rolls over. No one's near him. He gets his big body up. He gets up to run into the end zone. And Coach Lim is livid, and he has every reason to be. There was no reason whatsoever to call that play dead. And I don't take sides here, but I do say what I see. And what I saw there was a clear roll right, roll back left, pressure, rips at the ball, strips the ball, ball's on the ground, 7-3 rolls on it. And we always tell our players, we call it clean and dirty, right? So you're clean as if you're a DB or maybe a linebacker, safety, something like that, and you see the ball pop, you can let it have one hop, you get it, and you go. If you're a big boy, it's dirty. You get yourself on the ground and you roll yourself over and you tuck it into your belly and you give the ball to the offense. So you don't try to be a hero. But in this case, no one was near him, so he did exactly what he's supposed to do, rolled over, tucked the ball into his belly, didn't feel any contact, got up, started to run the ball, and the whistle had been blown. So at any rate, that play's done. They still have the ball with the end goal situation. Ball's on the 4-yard line, 7:23 left in the first half of this one. Let's see, number 3 is calling signals. That's Kelvin Lewis. Let's see what he can get going here. Looks pretty confident there. Coach Lim gives the last words to number 1. That's Anthony Jacobs. Clock's rolling. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so actually we have number 1 at quarterback. That's Anthony Jacobs. Ball is to number 38 on the sweep. The ball does come out. That ball's out. It's out, folks. And it looks like they're going to come in and identify, and it looks like they're immediately saying it's second down, so they must have recovered. So that was number 38 on the carry. So he tried to bounce it. Maybe you're looking at, a 3-hole, 5-hole, but not quite outside the tackle. Then he tried to bounce outside the tackle. The pursuit came from the inside from the D tackle, from the outside from the linebacker, as it should be. Drove him back. They went after the ball and got it out, but it looks like the Silverbacks actually recovered. Number 1 still calling signals. 6:13 left in the second quarter. It's a toss to the right. They tossed it to the fullback there, and your tailback was going in the same direction, so your linebackers are naturally going to flow that way, and that ball went over to number 45 there, and that's Nico out of Pacifica. Oplu on the carry there. So quarterback comes over to Coach Lim, gets the play. Looks like they have plenty of time. He brings it back in. He kind of has a look of a Cam Newton, from a distance. Big body, looks pretty confident. So they place the ball over on the right hash, so they all move over there. So that means you have man-to-man coverage top side, and they're in press coverage, and it's actually a toss to number 6. It gets around the outside, and I think I would have bounced that one out to the left, and the ball comes out again, but I think this one was that well after the whistle blew. So that was number 6. That was at any rate, that was a run, and they've actually received the ball and actually moved back, and it looks like the field goal team's going to come onto the field. And folks aren't used to field goals and extra points here, but they actually exchanged pretty well. They're allowing both teams to make substitutions, so the ball is looks like it's on the 10-yard line, so it's going to be a 27-yard field goal. And looks like he has the ball dead center somehow. So it's lined up. The wind is going in that direction. So they get the snap, kick, hold. Change that order up to snap, hold, kick. And at any rate, it's good. So finally, we break the scoring drought in this ball game with 4:14 remaining in the first half. San Diego's Silverbacks 3, West Coast Lions 0. Folks, we're back after that TV timeout and that score, that field goal with 4:14 left to go in the first half. The ball is kicked off back deep to receive as Darius Barlow as he watches this one go out of the back of the end zone. A touchback. Gotta love it. So nice boot by number 11 there. Put everything into that one. And his teammates, Silverback teammates, are definitely lifting him up there as one of the most dangerous return men in the game. Manages to have to look back at the ball as it goes beyond him. So I would be interested, while we have this break with 3:52 left in the first half, I'd really like to see a Darius Barlow and a Shane Boyle matchup on a kick return, just to kind of see what their 100 speed is. Those are two of the most physical and phenomenal individuals that I've seen. You have Barlow here with the Lions, and you have Shane Boyle with the Blackhawks, who we had an opportunity to see last week, and actually the last 2 weeks in the LDFL games of the week. So shotgun formation again, two backs. Give is right up the middle to number 30. Oh, that ball's out for sure. I saw that one, and I saw a whole bunch of Silverbacks around it, so we're going to see who recovered that one. But ball security is something that they must not be working on nowadays. You got to tuck that ball at least 3 points of pressure when you carry it. And as usual, one of the big linemen comes to the rescue. Folks we never talk about. Matter of fact, I'm going to introduce them all a little bit later, just because they get absolutely no love and they do everything. I don't care what team you are on. Without linemen, you are nothing. Period. Dot. End of story. So we'll kind of highlight a few of them a little later in the broadcast here. So as about 2:33 left in the first half, trips to the left, single back to the right. He looks to his right, looks at the short one, and he gets it up to number 21, and he actually brings that one in. That's an excellent catch there. Nice adjustment to the ball. Ball kind of floated out there. It was weird. It actually didn't seem like it had a rotation on it. And got his family here, and so we're going to let them introduce who made the catch there.
Oh, it's him, man.
Doro, okay, there we go. So, hey, got to have some fun with the fans here. And the big number 21 makes a nice catch there. And we wanted to give his family, he has a big support group here to support him today. And that's what it's about, LDFL football, just families coming together and having an opportunity. And it's weird because I watched this family talk the entire game, and now they get the opportunity to get on the mic, and they are silent. So that's how it works, folks. LDFL football, gotta love it. And the clock has stopped for a 2-minute warning with the Silverbacks up 3-0 on this LDFL game of the week. We're back, folks. Shotgun formation. He has to reach down, gets it off to Darius Barlow. Barlow, oh, cuts back. He's still going somehow. That was number 90 on the tackle, and you have to look at that. I thought he was down, but 1:42 left. Referees thought otherwise, and those kind of plays make me nervous because everyone else stops, and then you go in to make a tackle, and that's how injuries can occur. But if he wasn't down, they were letting him run. Big number 90 made the first tackle, got up, and actually made the second tackle as well, and he is tapping his helmet saying, "Get me out of here." So now when you talk about development, and the officials are gonna call a timeout there. So you got a officials timeout, having a discussion with the player. I mean, I just really like, I'm not sure where they got this officiating crew from, but I can really appreciate the explanations and the attention to detail and how they're actually making sure that the game flows. And it is flowing. We're about just at an hour, just barely an hour in. And anyway, big handoff to Mr. Gilligan's Island. You have to be old enough to know what I'm talking about there. That give was to number 1, Thurston Hollis, the second. Big body back out of Pierce College, rumbling and stumbling. And they're showing 5'9", 190 on the roster, and I will tell you that is an absolute lie. He hasn't been 190 in a while. So at any rate, he's actually the max protect quarterback. Gets hit, ball goes up in the air to their star player. 11 has an opportunity. Used his boosties to get up, but didn't come down with the ball. Incomplete pass. Brings up a 4th down here. 49.6 remaining from Briscoe Clark Field in Los Angeles. American Airlines jet flying over from our right to left. Back judge is getting the play set. Big number 90 comes off the field. We're going to correct ourselves and say it's a 3rd down and 6 to go. Gun formation again, single back, sits there looking to max protect. He chips big number 73, who's been making plays. Quarterback is navigating, telling you to run, and there he goes. He throws it to number 11. There's penalty flags on the play, so we're going to hold everything. 40.6 left in the half here, so we're going to see what happens here. There's a lot of action going on. Referees talking to the other referee, and they're making a decision here. Did he catch the ball? Yes, he caught the ball. What's the mark? They're identifying the mark. Big number 21 comes back on the field after making a big play earlier. Took a quick breather. And either we have a lot of Michael Jacksons out here taking a moonwalk, or this penalty is going against the Lions. So that's what it looks like is happening. But incidentally, looks like there's a player down on the field. So we're going to have another officials timeout. We're going to take this time to mention the LDFL again and some of the successes that it's had over the past few years. And last week we had a great contest, much anticipated contest between the SoCal Apaches and the Inglewood Blackhawks out on Obama Boulevard. And that was a pretty good contest. They had some mistakes in that one, and those come back. You can't have those against defending champions, but all these teams are different now. They're no longer the same team. So we had a personal foul there, and that penalty was actually marked back off against the Lions. And the conversation going on between and it was a legal blow to the head is what happened there. So they marked him back 15 on that. And the teaching point there from the coaching staff is you hurt your team. And that is a true statement. So where they had the ball, actually, and they still have it in the Silverbacks territory. And we want to take a moment to say that young man 33 is coming off the field. He is okay walking off under his own power, so that's always good to hear. And they look to mark the ball back. So like I was saying, now the ball is back in Lions territory where they had it in Silverback territory a moment ago. So with 40 seconds to go and trailing, those are things that come back to haunt you, and you have to take care of just the simple things, right? But it's an aggressive sport, right? So anyone that's actually played this game more than a day, they understand that everything isn't always roses out here, right? But you just want to keep it clean, and that's what they're doing. The referees are well on top of that. So they go to reset. Big get back coaches are instructing their players to get back. So it's a form of discipline. And he's in gun again. And there's another penalty flag. And normally this means a procedure call. And it was already 3rd and about 20. You know, and I look down at the field and I see a number 50. His last name is Starr. And he spells with 2 R's, and it just it takes me back. And a lot of us that have been working at this level for a while remember a young man named Armand Starr that we lost a couple years back, and really missed that kid. Good kid, and he's well missed. And a lot of folks play their game in dedication to him. So anyway, we're back here. Number 12 rolls out to his right out of shotgun formation. He gets hit by number 73. Ball's picked off. Number 6. And he's going to the sideline, and he's taken down. There's another penalty flag. So, and that penalty flag was thrown based upon nothing that was going on with the initial play. So that was something on the backside. So we'll see how this can affect them, because they may have had an opportunity to take one shot at the end zone with 13.2 left in the first half. But we'll see how this how this works out. So we have 13.2 left in the first half of this one. The San Diego Silverbacks are up 3-0 over the West Coast Lions. So now we'll see what the strategy is going to be with 13.2 and the lead. They have another big body in the back there. So. Oh, wow. So that penalty is a personal foul, unnecessary roughness. So now it's actually going to give them more room. And as I mentioned earlier, and you wonder why I say which way the wind is going from the left to the right. That's which way the Silverbacks are going. So now they actually have a chance, and we saw him put the ball up in the air earlier. Now they have a chance to take a couple shots if they want to at the end zone, based upon that penalty. So they're at about the 40-yard line here going in. So the Lions come out in a deep cover 2. Corners are off, so it's almost a cover 4 when they roll back into it. Linebackers are stacked, 2 of them, 5 on the line. Gets it out to number 45. Well, he missed his guy, so he's taking the ball up the sideline. That's number 13. Looks like all he has to do is wait. He cuts in, cuts out. Takes a step. Still going, cuts back. 0 on the clock. He's still going. He scores a touchdown. West Coast Lions. So when you sit there and after all that, you give up a penalty, you put yourself in a bad position, and your teammates pick each other up, and they get an interception, and they crib it. So that's number 13. They run over to him and give him water, give him some love, and they pat you on the head and all this. And I've always wondered why they want to pat you on the head when you make a play. You're already tired. Now just beating you up. And that's Mechlor, who made a play earlier today. So he's out there balling out of control today. We might We might have to talk to him after the game. If you ball, you get the call. That's not my call. That's Dion's, but I picked up on it. But I gave him his credit, so we're good. At any rate, at the buzzer, there's a touchdown. And because of the rule, they have to allow them to go for the extra point even with no time on the clock. And it's an untimed down, so it just makes sense, right? So remember now, the ball is further back. You can remember in previous days, the ball would be on the 3-yard line, where that would make for a pretty easy kick. So now what would happen is when you go for 2, the ball is supposed to go back to that 3-yard line marker, and I think they just figured that one out. And that's why I'm here to let you know. So at any rate, they're moving it up. They said they want to go for 2, which a couple of teams have proven that is the way to go when you actually look at your percentages. And when you look at this, okay, so say for instance the ball is, you're looking at almost a 30-plus, 33-yard field goal in order to get an extra point here, whereas now you look at 3 yards and the quarterback keeps the ball and he gets some assistance from his fullback and they push him. And I love this because this reminds you of Charlie Brown, where you just see a big old scrum and a whole bunch of dust, and they come up, and after all that, some folks are saying that, well, you have 11 referees saying it's good, and the one in the white hat that counts says it's not. So we're going to have a 6-3 ball game at the end of the first half at Briscoe Clark Field. The West Coast Lions 6 on a 60-yard interception return by Micklower as the time ran out. And the field goal for the Silverbacks, 6-3. We'll see you in a few.
Ramondre Stevenson, running back, Cerritos College, transferring to OU next semester. Boomer Sooner, we about to get this work. Cerritos College, Boomer Sooner. I came from Vegas trying to get an opportunity. My coaches, Cerritos, prepared me for the next level. I'm about to go get it. You gotta know how to work, especially going to the next level. They're gonna eat you up if you don't. Coming from Las Vegas to Cerritos, I grew up a lot. It taught me hard work, dedication. It's some work. It's gonna be worth it. We're about to go to the field right now, get some work in, the ball around a little bit, sweat some more. When I first got to Cerritos, my mindset was just, I got to get the academics together, then work hard on and off the field in every aspect of life. Hard work brings success. At Cerritos College, they taught me a lot, how to stay on my books, time management, how I got to make everything work, no matter how busy my day could get.
No, I miss you too. Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Booty.
So where we headed, man?
To the field, we about to get this work in, a little field work. attending a prestigious university like University of Oklahoma. Can't wait. I'm gonna keep my nose in the books, get that degree, and hopefully get into the draft. Good looking for coming to check me out. This is a day in the life of Andre. We're getting it in. We're resuming.
Man, I just want to let you guys know about Division II level, man. It's a great exploring place. You know, being at Azusa Pacific kind of changed my life, made me look at a lot of things differently. And I saw all my coaches. The coaches that actually care about you. You know, they speak to you, talk to you. It's not just about football. It's all about the man that you can be in the future. You know, and Division II is actually teaching me a lot more than just football. You know, football is just a sport. The major thing I learned about being in Division II is just the way my coaches speak to me, the way they talk to you is a lot. You know, a lot of coaches yell at you, come at you a different place, but at being here at Azusa Pacific taught me a lot more than just being a football player. In life, they teach you life goals, how to be a father, how to be a pastor, how to be anything you want to be. You know what I mean? They teach you outside the lines of football. So I just want to thank you to all my coaches and Coach Bias. Thank you, and Coach Cruz. Thank you a lot for just being there for me as a coach and just as a mentor for me, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Being short and being who I am, man, the work ethic always pushed me to the next level. Just grind, keep grinding, and use your work ethic as a tool in life. One thing I always learn, man, if you're bored, go work out. Don't be getting out there in trouble, you know what I mean? That's one thing that coming up from the hood is there's a lot of trouble, but a lot of trouble means no schooling, no football, no nothing. So grind how you gotta get it. Monkey walks ain't no joke, y'all. You wanna come get it with Coach E. He gonna get you right. it's just a blessing to be out here in this day, touching this grass. You know what I mean? Because no matter what, you know, the day can end with you not even living. So just always cherish the moments of you working out, you talking to people and getting to know people. And just a little tribute to Tyler Helinski, man. I'll never forget you, man. I'm doing this season for you, man. Leo Noel, that's my daughter. Man, I got you, mama. We're gonna get this money, we're gonna grind every day until we get it. You know, the grind don't stop. This is all for you. And you're gonna look at this video and say, Dad, you got this, and we made it. I love you, all.
This could get personal. This could get personal. Hey nigga, this could get personal. This could get personal. This could get personal. Hey, I need your energy. Snake, the enemy. I do with that energy. Turn out your head if you feeling me. I need your energy. Turn out your head if you feeling me. Snake, the enemies. I do with that energy. I feel it, I ain't who started it. It's too much hate in the heart of them. We just come back with the problem and bring it straight to your door like you ordered it. I come for the goal like a pirate it. Killing the game and recorded it. They don't want to see me go forward with this, but I get it and run it like Forrest. I got that fuego, damn it like flame. Brain is a gun go bang. Bang on them all of them fall. Falling in line up and brawl. Brawl for your ball, ballin' no point. Point me the way to the in the thinking the tank might make it a bang. But Big Bang Hank ain't ever had a choice. We move it deep. To the left, to the right, cause on Susie Street. Hundreds on your kicks and make you move your feet. Plus I can't be beat long as I move my feet. Right, why me move my feet? I need your energy.
Audio Jungle. I'm alive.
Well, folks, we're back to Briscoe Clark Field in beautiful Los Angeles, California, where the hometown West Coast Lions lead 6-3 over the San Diego Silverbacks. Got a lot of good feedback over the halftime period from both sides. Also, the fans calling in. Gotta love it. So appreciate all of you for taking the time to tune in with us today. At any rate, here's the kickoff. Another nice kick. Remember, that's the way the wind's going. Ball's off. Number 11, Darius Barlow cuts back, does that normal spin that he does, cuts back, still going a couple blocks, still going in the middle. It looks like it's over. And it is. So good kick. Oh, grab him, grab him. Grab him, don't let him do that. Okay. So 14:42 and counting. That clock rolls around here. They don't play around. They don't play around with this clock. So nice restraint from the officials there. Got to appreciate them. And these officials, pretty good officiating crew today. You know, they kept the game clock running and some pretty good calls, and they're staying on top of the things and so forth. So at any rate, first down, 6-3 lead for the Lions. 14 minutes left. So a whole minute's going off, and we haven't ran a play yet. Haven't run a play yet. Anyway, shotgun formation gives the running back. He stutter steps. And part of what we discussed, had a chance to talk to both teams at halftime, and one of the things that we talked about is, what do you plan on doing better in the second half? This is a tight ball game that can go either way. So part of the feedback that we received from Coach Lim from San Diego was, we just have to execute and no mental errors and make big plays. He said, you know, we have a bunch of young guys. We're trying to change the face of the league and what we do, and we want the younger guys to actually develop. And we have some pretty young guys out here, so they're going to make mistakes, but it's to learn from those mistakes at the half, and that's what they're trying to do. At any rate, shotgun formation, dumps the ball off to the swing pass. Number 90 is one of those guys that they were talking about. He tracks well. Got all the way out from the hash marks out to the sideline to make that particular play with 13 minutes left in the third quarter of this one. So we had a similar conversation as it brings up third down. Similar conversation with the Lions. And their objective is to, once again, not have penalties and mental errors and take advantage of the wind. It is a pretty good wind blowing from left to right here. So they want to take advantage of that when they have those opportunities. Currently, they're going against that. Shotgun formation, two backs, runs up the middle. He wants to get rid of that ball, and he just thought better of it. And wide receivers are going all the way down the field, but if he doesn't have time, you're just running wind sprints. So the officials are letting everyone exchange folks if they need to. Fourth down, officiating crew for the Ldfl today. Ldfl in its first year. So anything we talked about earlier, just remember this is the first year of the Ldfl and trying to build this into something special. There's a lot of leagues doing similar things. We're real proud of all those. Main thing is to get these young men off the street, get them doing some things that are positive, not only positive on the football field that may provide them an opportunity to make money and grow mentally, but also keeps them off the street. And that is something I'm a big proponent of, and they do this well. So I'm very happy to be out here doing this on this 4th and 9 with 11:34 left in the third quarter. Time's running. Referee has his hand up. Looks like he wanted to call delay the game. He's reaching for the flag, and the ball is kicked out of bounds just on the other side of the 50-yard line. That gives us a moment with about 11:15, and we just wanted to say thank you to all the fans down in San Diego that support the Silverbacks here. And we heard from a lot of you at halftime, pretty excited, and a few of you actually had the time to make the trip, so we see you over there. So we just wanted to give you a quick shout out and really let you know that we appreciate you, because that is a long drive, and I tell you that I-5 can be something else. So when you take the time to drive up or you take the time to tune in, we want to thank you for it. And at any rate, quarterback comes back under center. And he gives it right to the big man. Keeps his legs churning. Okay, and this is what they're doing. So one of the things that the officials, because we were wondering why they were blowing the whistles so early, and they realized the same thing that I said earlier is you take injuries when you have a big pile and then so somebody just comes and they just pile drive the whole the whole set of players that are in there in the crowd. So they're trying to blow that whistle quickly so they don't have any injuries. So the officials today, the referee is John. Vernell is the umpire. Kevin is the head linesman. Juan is the line judge. And Terrence is the back judge. Terrence is the one that's actually keeping the clock honest here. So it's, speaking of the clock, it's about 9:50 left in the third quarter. Quarterback comes up. Gets a snap off. Another run right up the middle. So I don't know, folks, if you figured it out, but that's the theme of the day. And they run the ball. It's about 9:30 left. To be honest with you, if I'm running the ball, I probably won't bring my quarterback over to the sideline as frequently. I'll probably give him a few sets or few plays to actually run in a sequence, and that he should know. Folks are yelling, watch the ball, because it is a 4th and short. Handoff, toss right. Nice seal block. Oh, linebacker comes up, bringing that wood. Number 22 on the play. Excellent tackle. Wow, what a hit there. That was Justin Mitchell, strong safety. Lead, and that's the first person to give him some love as he comes over to the sideline. So they got a little swag coming back out in this first possession. We're going to see what they do with it. Silverbacks looks like they're lined up, ready to go. So ball is on their own. Lions have the ball on their own 42-yard line. Snap is low. Give it to Thurston Hollis the second. Rumbles and stumbles for a half a yard on the carry. Going to bring up second down. They're probably going to leave it at 10. Second and 10. 7:15 left in the third quarter of this one. Looks like still running. And so I noticed one of the discussions that must have occurred during halftime was for the folks they were tackling high on both teams. They were tackling pretty high in the first half, and it looks like they're now looking at that waist and exploding. And that's how you get the ball out as well, is just textbook tackling. Part of what we teach is you make the tackle and you twist, not to hurt the person, but that just brings them down, and it's actually safer. It's more of a rugby-style tackle that a lot of teams are going to now. So at any rate, he has a follow-me drill, as I call it, where You fake the handoff, and then you run right behind. And I'm not a big fan of that play for a couple of reasons. As a linebacker, I'm reading that. So once I read ball and I see ball, I follow ball. And if you follow the ball in the fake handoff, I'm already there. So once again, we're looking at another fourth down. Looks like 4th and 6 on the 43-yard line. And we'll see what happens here. So it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field with 5:49 left in the third quarter. Timeout called by the Lions of the West Coast. So we'll reset it. It's going to be West Coast Lions 6, San Diego Silverbacks 3. 5:49 from Briscoe Clark Field in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Well, folks, we're back. 5:49 in third quarter. A white hat runs the clock. Shotgun, 4th down. They're going for it. It looks like that sneaky guy is back at quarterback. It is number 11, Darius Barlow. Barlow keeps the ball. He's keeping the ball the whole time. There he goes, still going, still going. Takes a hit, and first down. He's tricky, folks. So they pick up the first down. They bring in Barlow, almost like a wildcat formation, there. Shotgun formation, still had the 2 backs, so everything looks similar. However, number 11 at quarterback, that had to let you know something was up, and they're going against the wind. However, they throw the ball, and the whistle's blowing on this one. That's probably going to be a dead ball. False start on the offense, so they're going to move that one back with about 5:16 left in the third quarter. So the clock's rolling, folks. 5:14 and rolling. Well, let's just say and counting. Don't want to disrespect anyone here. Anyway, the quarterback throws the ball. It's off the hand of the receiver there. Incomplete. And the way that the whistle's blowing, it means something yellow's on the field, and it is. We're going to wait for this call on this 2nd down and 15 play. Going to take some time here. 5:05 left in the third quarter. We're going to see what the preliminary call here is. They are speaking with San Diego team, so it looks like they're going to make a decision on accepting or declining the penalty. It's Coach Elliot Limbrick. So they called a hold, and we're at about 2nd and 25 now with 5:05 left. President Heather Thornton, had a chance to meet her a little bit earlier. Lovely young lady. Very good meeting her for the first time. And she said, "You make sure you say my team's name right." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." That's how it works here in LDFL football. So you have Layla Bouchard as a co-owner. Elliot Limbrick is also a co-owner, head coach, DC, OC. So as they go to build this LDFL game of the week. So we have quarterbacking for the Silverbacks today is number 1, Michael Thomas. So here they go. 12 rolls back, rolls out to his right. Number 90 is in pursuit again, and I told you about this young man earlier as he makes another play. His motor was running. They were looking at him at halftime just to make sure he was good. And the way that they were talking to him, I was like, he must be a baller, because normally you don't really worry about all your players that way. That's a bad thing to say, but that's just real. So your ballers, you have a tendency to go over and check on them, and they were doing a lot of checking on him. at halftime. You want his motor full go, and it looks like his motor is full go. So that brings up 3rd down, and I can't count that high. So we're going to see what the decision will be here with 4:15 remaining. And it's going to be probably 3rd and about 35 here. And the Lions come up. So they look. He's looking to his left the whole time. He's getting pressure from the middle. He tries to let it go. 90's in pursuit again. He held on to him a little bit. Now he takes off. 59 is coming. He goes, and a low tackle there made. Just brings him just short of the original line of scrimmage there. And I mean, that's not bad on one play to take a big chunk. And that's what you want to do when you have a 2nd and 30 anything. There's no play in the playbook for that. So what you want to do is take that in chunks based upon which down. Well, apparently they marked him short. So on a 4th down, they go for it. Clock is running after a change of possession. So now they're running. Now they're running the play clock. 2:21 remaining in 3rd quarter. Stand by. So we talked about a couple things when I spoke with the Lions, and one of the things that they said is in the second half, 1, make sure we hydrate. And folks, the weather's different this weekend. It's been cold and rainy for a few weeks, and this one, the temperatures were up, especially at game time there. And first half seemed to progress pretty quickly, so they wanted to make sure that they hydrated and take advantage of the wind. Anyway, he took a pass intended for number 5 there, and I tell you, when I see that, especially after playing that safety position, when you throw a pass across the middle like that, I kind of salivate for one of those and sometimes have flashbacks. But anyway, everyone was safe there. The game has changed quite a bit. We're about 1:05 left in the 3rd quarter. The game has changed. I can remember when we played in the first series, especially at the safety position, my job was to knock someone out, and that's what it's about at that time. And if you weren't knocking somebody out, you weren't playing. The game is elevated and it's changed, and we think it's a little softer, but it is a little safer. We can't say that for sure. So the Ldfl, they utilize for the most part, the NFL rules to try to ensure that they protect the players here. So anyway, you have a cover 2 on the defense. Number 1 launches. He puts it out there. And there's a penalty flag on the play. Pass was intended for number 3. I saw the mindset there. So the safety's in a weird position there with about 33.5 left. He's in a weird position because he has a choice. You make a kill shot or you get the interception. And, you know, my thing is you go get the ball. If you have a beat on the ball, you go get it. If you're not sure, then you separate the ball from the receiver, right? And you live to play another day. But in this case, it was kind of in between. It was in between, and it's what we call no man's land on that play there. And so now they're going to make an adjustment. They're going to move the sticks. So apparently that's a defensive penalty. Penalties on the lines. So Darius Barlow. Field, so we'll wait to see what happens there. Penalty flag looks like it's an offensive holding. So the Lions have a choice what they want to do here, and it looks like they're going to actually move them back. They're going to go from the spot. 21.6 left. So you might think here, based upon the scoring in the first half and the lack of scoring here in the second half, that first score, maybe the last score, and that score may win. So we're going to see what happens here as the folks look on from Briscoe Clark Field here, home of Locke High School in Los Angeles, California. So it's going to keep it at first down. Should be 1st and 20. As they hydrate. So we're going to take this injury timeout with them with 21.6 left in third quarter. You have the West Coast Lions 6, San Diego Silverbacks 3. Thompson rolls out. Oh, 13. Made a nice break on the ball. 30 kind of waited on the ball there. And it's an incomplete pass. And with that incomplete pass, we have the end of the third quarter, where you have the West Coast Lions leading the San Diego Silverbacks 6-3. They'll come back with second down on the 20-yard line. Or excuse me, 2nd and 20 on the 34-yard line. As we kick off, normally we throw up the fours here, fourth quarter. It's where you make your money at, right? So, looks like he has some pretty good leadership skills as well. And something that we've tried to do with the different leagues is look at the, you know, as a professional scout, I would always try to look at the local talent to see if we could bring them in and give them opportunities. So we're looking at a couple folks today, just kind of see what they look like with our own eyeballs. So when we go back and we write those reports and we make submissions of potential candidates for opportunities at different levels of football, we want to actually say that we were able to see it beyond just looking at film or looking at tape. So it's always important to kind of see. I want to see more than what they can do on the field. I want to see their personality. I want to see if there's something that can represent a community. So I look at at all those things because I think they're all very important. So anyway, speaking of important, this is an important fourth quarter. As we go to start this, looks like they're going to house it up or go back into the huddle. Depends on what you like to call it. So they're going to go back into the huddle as they fix the sticks for the 2nd and 20. So sometimes when you flip the field, your sideline officials just have to get relined up, find a front right line to mark the field, and then to make sure they have the accurate placement. So defense is yelling money down. So let's see if this is that money down. I guess they call 2nd down money down. I call it 3rd down. And I think part of the reason is there's 3rd down on the box and 2nd down on the. So we'll see. So they had a penalty on the previous play. So they had a holding penalty, and that would have repeated the 1st down. Then they threw the incomplete pass, which would have that would have been one play, so it would be 2nd down. So 2nd down is correct on the box. Thank goodness for a good memory. Anyway, quarterback Thomas comes out. Shotgun formation. Single back off to his right. Twins both sides of it. Rolls back. Gets the ball at his knees. Dumps it off to big number 45. 45 takes it. Cuts back. Still going. Uh-oh. He broke. He may go, folks. I don't know if he has the speed, but he cuts back, and the pursuit catches up with him. But that's a big hitter. Folks, we were just talking about what play is going to happen that's going to make a difference. So that. So you go from 1st down and 10 to 1st and 20 after a holding penalty to 2nd, running one play, incomplete pass, that makes it 2nd and 20. On 2nd and 20, you swing the ball out to your big body back, number 45, takes it, rumbles, stumbles, gets up, 1st down with 14:25 left in this ball game. Snap, set, line block, they shield him. Get the ball off. Oh, right up the middle, and I don't think anybody's going to catch him. They go to make a high tackle. That ball is to number 30 to the crib. Touchdown. What a play there. That was a training day play, you know, where you kind of just skinny post right there to number 30, and ironically, that was to Denzel Edwards, number 30, for the touchdown. Looks like a 35-yard toss and catch from Thomas to Edwards. Touchdown. So that opens the game up a little bit. 14-12. Remember we said it earlier, would the next score make a difference? Now this is interesting. They are actually, they went for 2 and the clock is, why is he running the clock on an extra point? Okay, so at any rate, timeout is called by San Diego. And I'll look into that, folks, because maybe I just need to educate myself on why they would actually run the clock on an extra point. So, and maybe that's a rule to expedite the game, but they were in fact running the clock there, and now it's stopped. Extra point team is on the field, and basically what happened on that play, it was a cover 2 defense. They split the safeties. There's a word I call that, can't say it on the air, but they split the safeties wide open, and the linebacker didn't get any depth because they've typically been running with 2 linebackers, and they're protecting the edges. And it looks like a player goes offside, so they're going to kick the ball anyway, and the ball looks like it was no good. However, he's more than likely going to have another opportunity from a little closer in. guess he can adjust his sight, so to speak. So any of you shooters out there, you know what I'm talking about. And okay, so they move the ball up. So they call offsides. And now, they're moving the clock there. So, excuse me, they're moving the ball there. So there's a lot going on here. I'll try to make some sense out of this. So now it looks like they're actually going to go for two. 13:44 on the clock. Silverbacks, it's a pitch out to the right, and you know, like some folks say, ball don't lie. So at any rate, nothing scored on the extra point there. However, the Silverbacks from San Diego take the lead, 9-6 over the West Coast Lions. 13:44 left in this one from Briscoe Clark Field in Los Angeles. This is Brady Tucker. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, folks, we're back. Ball's an onside kick recovered by the Lions, and they'll actually have the ball in Silverback territory. So the White Hat is emphatic about keeping that clock running even on a change of possession. Now, I can remember playing at Locke High School years ago, and I wish they would have kept the clock running, but they didn't. So we had some interesting verbal discussions with the then Saints then. Okay. At any rate, 12:50 live broadcast. I tell you the truth. So anyway, 12:45 left in the fourth quarter here. The Lions come out to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun, 12 rolls back. Oh, he lets this one go. He has him. Oh, a little push off, and he drops it. Oh, what a pass there. And the little sleight of hand with the push off. And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, baby. 12:30 left. I'm not saying the man's cheating. I'm saying the man pushed off, which he did. Call it like I see it. But it was discreet. And 31 was in coverage there. Off of El Segundo. So gonna take a look here, see what they do with 12:03 left. You know, a few of the LDFL players have left their teams momentarily as they're pursuing other dreams in professional sports. So this is part of what the developmental football is about. Big body carry. Now that's another high tackle, But when you don't, that's 90 again. I like this kid. He's gutsy, has moxie. He's a young kid, good legs. And I definitely like this kid. He plays with a lot of heart. And Sean Foreman out there balling out of control today. So he's either putting pressure on or getting sacks here. So Patrick Washington, he just launches it, gets it out to the receiver. Receiver knows that he's going to be hit there, and he holds on to it. It's Dominic Drisden on the catch there. He secured the catch. That's what it's about, you know. He said we can get the yak later, but let's just go ahead and make sure that we make the catch. So it's going to bring up a third down, 10:50 left, about a 3rd and 2. And officials timeout with 10:45. The line judge backs off. White hat hand up, ready to blow the whistle. Everybody's set. And the umpire set, and now the whistle is blown, and they're ready to go. 4th down, folks. Could be play of the game. Number 11, Barlow has the ball, runs around to the right. When does he switch back? There he goes. Got 90 in pursuit. Oh, that's a good block. He launches the ball. He puts it up. He's wide open. He catches it. Safety comes up, makes the tackle, but not until a 1st down. Barlow on the catch there. So Darius Barlow, once again, 4th down weapon, 10:24 left. They're trailing by 3, but that's a big play that can change the scope of the game there. Barlow connecting. So Meckler, who we talked about a little earlier, he's lined up at wide receiver. He's out to the right. Quarterback decides to keep the ball going right up the middle. Couple folks just knock right off each other. He's still going. And he's in the end zone. Wow, what a run there. After multiple missed tackles there, he's a big body guy, so they were tackling high and just sliding off of him. And that's Patrick Washington there. We were just talking about him a moment ago from Hawthorne High School. This clock is still rolling at 10 minutes left in the contest in the 4th quarter. And so they line up. It looks like they're going to go for 2. And they're making some decisions on what they're going to do, counting up the personnel there. I'm looking across the sideline at Coach Lim. He's pacing back and forth, much like I would be right about now, coming up with his next offensive series. So the handoff is given. The quarterback has it. Now the ball came out. I saw the ball first short come out. It's picked up by, and the ball comes out again, and it's still going. The ball comes out again. And it comes out again, and now it's a big body, so this is clean and dirty drill that we talked about a little bit earlier, and they're still trying to pick it up, and we don't know. There were 4 fumbles on that particular play. Quarterback fumbles, trying to go over into the end zone. He tries to lift up. His running back is trying to push him. The score with 9:13 left in regulation. The West Coast Lions, not the Warriors, the Lions, 12. And the visiting San Diego Silverbacks, 9. Well, it was a short kickoff by the Lions. And not exactly sure why with the lead. .48, three-point ball game. The trailing team is going against the wind, so I don't know what's going to happen with a field goal here. He did miss the last one, but it did not count due to penalty, and they wind up going for 2. So anyway, big quarterback rolls back, takes it, rolls to his right. He launches it. He has a man wide open. The ball just hangs up, and it looks like they're going to call that a catch. That's big number 3, Orrin Bridgeforth, making an excellent catch. And earlier in the game, I thought he was actually the quarterback. Yeah, he's another one with good size. So nice young man there. Makes the catch. So that's a big play. And, you know, when you start to see guys walking off the field with the helmet off, taking a while, it's one of 2 things. It's either conditioning or just dejection, you know. So we'll see. I'm right out of here down to Arizona after this ball game and check out another ball game in another league. So it's a lot going on here. Anyway, shotgun formation. Oh, quick slant. Lets it out. It's like 26 bringing the wood on that play. So now it's a second down, 10 yards to go, 7:40 left in the contest. Gonna see what happens here. As the sun starts to set in sunny Los Angeles, California, the Silverbacks bring their offense back out. Big number 73 is a big tackle on the left-hand side. Been handling his business today. Nice block by him. Pass, he launches it. It's a safety over there. Oh, and the safety just had the alligator arms. Folks say alligator arms, but you actually have to think about an alligator and how their arms are, based upon the composite of their body, and that's what it looks like when you actually put your hands out to catch a ball and you pull them back, and that's exactly what that looked like. So that could have been an interception with a toe tap, which could have changed the dynamic of the game. Instead, it's an incomplete pass, brings up 3rd and 10 with 7:15 remaining at Briscoe Clark Field, with the West Coast Lions up 12-9 over the San Diego Silverbacks. This might turn out to be a great one, folks. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. 7 minutes left. So they're making some adjustments. Quarterback is actually under center this time. 2 receivers out to his left. Ball's on the ground. Pigskin's on the ground. Let's see who recovers it. Fans on this side are clapping, but it looks like they're putting their hand up to say it's an offense, so that means it's 4th down. So it's an opportunity. So let's see. The ball's on the 25-yard line. You add 10 to that, 35, and that's 7. We're talking about a 42-yarder, folks, against the wind. Against the wind, folks. So we're going to see what happens here. So I personally would be on some type of fake alert, but the kicker does have a leg, so they may trust that, and they actually put a receiver back deep just in case. And he's a true kicker. He actually looks like a kicker, folks. So it's number 11 there, and he gets his steps, marks them all. 5:48 left in this one. Let's see what happens here. And he goes, snap. Oh, ball's up in the air, and that does not look like it's going to make it, folks, and it sure doesn't. He's actually going to return this when he got a little wiggle to him, and he goes, brought down. So that's what I was thinking about a little bit earlier there, and that's why I talk about things, because they typically come back. You know, when you're coaching, you have to think about everything. So we talked about at halftime the win. So they were kicking a 35-yarder against the wind there, and it turns out that was it was very short, probably about 2 yards deep into the end zone, so it's probably about 8 yards short, and it results in a return out to the 24-yard line, and the clock's still rolling. It's about 5:25. These officials want to get out of here. So 5:20 left in this one, folks. The home team has the lead and the ball. And a couple players, well, one player coming on late there. He slides over into the A gap, lines up, and they stand up, gives the hand. Uh-oh. And he goes to leap. He pushes one over, and that's 14 on the carry. So that's Walter Wilson on the carry. So we have a timeout on the field, 4:56 remaining in the regulation part of this contest. Timeout is called by the San Diego Silverbacks. And one thing with the clock running like this, you have to maximize the time in proper clock usage as well as timeout usage and so forth. And so we're going to see how that affects later on. This wind is, like I said, picking up. And it's still blowing in the same direction. So it's basically going from west to east as it normally does. But it's a lot harder now as the wind blows. So we're going to see what happens with 4:56 left. Had some big plays in this one. Defensive back from the Lions with the interception return at the end of the first half for a touchdown. It was a pretty big play. Now they've been able to come down and score again, to have 12 points. Both extra points have been missed. We had a field goal for the Silverbacks. It's a pretty good kicker there, fighting with the wind, so we'll learn to adjust that. But he's a solid kicker. He's not just a guy kicking, he's actually a kicker. And another score on a skinny post there to number 30. So that resets everything. Darius Barlow in again. Looks like he has it, but he doesn't. He gives it up. Who did we talk about a little earlier? Number 90. I told you he came out with a plate, a fork, a spoon, and a knife, and he is out here to eat. And he's eating, folks. Watch this kid. He might get the call. 4:35 left in this contest. Number 90's out there balling out of control. Just got word that the team from San Diego, the San Diego Strike Force, has made it to Arizona safely. I'll see them shortly. So Darius Barlow stays in at quarterback. He gives up the ball right up the middle. They're going to run this clock. Uh-oh. Got to be smart there. Just over 4 minutes left in this one. But lost a lot of yardage in on this particular series, so it's going to bring up a fourth down on the box, 25 to go on the 27-yard line. So very interesting how this game is progressing, because we still don't know the outcome yet with 3:33. So it's Barlow back to punt, and I'll be doggone. And when I tell you he's back to punt, he kicks a banger all the way down to, wow. That's a pretty good punt, folks. And that may be the longest punt of the year in the Ldfl. We might have to check that one out. But he put his foot into that, and they took advantage of the wind. He took advantage of the hop. And that ball is actually inside of the 20-yard line when they're done marking. It looks like it's going to be right at about the 12-yard line with 3:26 left. What a kick. So that flips the field position there. And we're going to see what happens here. Wow, what a kick. I'm actually impressed by that kick. But Darius always impresses me, so we'll move on from that. So 3:26 left. Quarterback, shotgun formation. Let's see if you can lead a drive there. Some good protection, gives it all to the running back. Running back shakes one, and defender goes to tackle him, but actually tackles him forward. So that's one of those cases where you actually try to sling someone, and you don't stop their leg drive, so you actually sling them. It's I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember the roller rink, when you would actually use that as a technique to get your person around the rink faster, and that's exactly what happened there, where the tackle was initially made and actually threw him forward for a first down. So 3 minutes left in regulation. We're under 3 now. Clock still ticking. Shotgun formation. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Single back off to the right. Got it set for you. Quarterback rolls back. Look, steps up in the pocket. Oh, he's poised. He looked good, but he short hops it to the receiver there. It's number 30. Looks like they were going for that same play that they scored the touchdown on a little bit earlier. Didn't quite have the same effect there, and there was a lot more in the wash there defensively, as the Mike backer actually got some depth. Some will call that a Tampa 2 type defense, and so he got a little depth on that. And when the quarterback saw that, even though he was standing tall in the pocket, he had to try to put that under the safety, over the linebacker, and right into that window. And based upon that trajectory, was unable to do so. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 with 2:47 left in the fourth quarter. Gets the ball, ball's on the ground. He tries to pick it up. He doesn't pick it up, folks. This could be a play that could change the complexity of this game. So quarterbacks, when the ball's on the ground, fall on it. Don't try to pick it up. Now, they say be an athlete, pick it up and do something with it. That's great, but that could have changed. That could have thwarted the comeback attempt. So we're at 2:28 left in this one. Quarterback comes off to the sideline to talk to Coach Lim. Significant loss on that play. Takes them back. They have a 3rd and 17. I'm not sure if they're going to get this play off before the 2-minute warning. We're at 2:12 and counting. You want to get this play off before, if you're the offense, 2:05. They're walking up to the line of scrimmage. I don't understand. There's no way they're going to get this one off. They got to look at the clock. They're not. Oh, they do get it off. They do get it off. He steps up, gets around one of his linemen. Oh, he's just going to run this one. He actually gets a decent block. Oh, and they hit him out of as he's going out of bounds. So they stop the clock. They stopped the clock, 1:52. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I did my laundry, but apparently someone else hasn't, because there's some on the field. Let's see what that's about. Oh, wow, and they have a penalty and the 2-minute warning. So we're going to call personal foul. Hands to the face on the defense. So now you're going to take the yardage. The Silverbacks are in a good position here. They're going to take the yardage, and they're going to tack on 15 on top of that. So the Silverbacks go. They get some fresh bodies on the field. 1:52 left in this one, folks. Don't go anywhere if you're there. Okay, I'll let you go for a second. You have like 10 seconds. Go to the restroom, wash your hands, and come back. Got to be quick, because they're in the huddle. Hopefully you can still hear me. Don't go to the refrigerator. You'll fall in love with something in there and you never come back. Hey, they're blowing a whistle. So they do have a 2-minute warning. So 2-minute warning at 1:52. So you have a chance. Go, because you need to come back. This one's going to be good. I got that feeling. Not pulling for either team. Just wanting good football out here. And both coaches, they have their own way of expression. And if you know Coach Limbrick, you know he's pretty intense right now. Coach Clark doing the same thing. Has boonie hat on, talking to him, waving with his left hand, making sure they know what's going on. So This is where coaching really comes in, because you have to know the spirit of your players, right? And every team is not created equal when it comes to talent. You have to know where to put the right talent. You have to know where the mindsets are of the players and so forth of your coaching staff, and how to make those adjustments. So we're at 152. Hopefully you've made it back from the restroom and taking care of business. At Briscoe Clark Field, we're sitting here as the sun starts to set to our west, with the West Coast Lions leading 12-9 over the San Diego Silverbacks. But the Silverbacks just came off of a big play, big quarterback run, got out of bounds, and then tacked on a 15-yard personal foul, blow to the head penalty on top of it. So now they have the ball in the Lions territory with 1:52 and a timeout remaining. They have one timeout remaining. 2-minute warning has expired now. The umpire is moving back. Line judges are set. Back judge puts his hand up, says we're ready to go, and the white hat is rolling the clock. So they flip the tight end. They move him over to the left. I formation, quarterback under center. So someone looked like they may have moved. Maybe it was just a good move. It was a good jump. Nothing illegal there. He just got a good jump, got his hand out of the ground. That's what they're taught to do. Run the hoop, explode out of their stance, and that's what he did. So that was clean. Anyway, we're at about 1:35 remaining in the fourth quarter, or let's say regulation, because there is a potential tying opportunity and a potential winning opportunity. So at any rate, there's another timeout on the field, 1:27 left. The final timeout is called by the Silverbacks. So he didn't want that time to run off the clock. Wanted to make sure that he had a good play. He has second down, 10 yards to go, ball on the 45-yard line going in. So now what you anticipate is some plays that will be to the sideline. That way you can save some of that clock that way. We're under 4 minutes, so the clock is okay. So the officials just looked me dead in my eye and said that the home team, the West Coast Lions, has 2 timeouts remaining, and the Silverbacks have 1 timeout remaining. So remember that. That's very important in this situation, that you know, and I provide you the correct information. So they've updated the clock. So it is 2 timeouts for the Lions, 1 timeout remaining for the Silverbacks of San Diego. 1:27 left in regulation. Helicopter and an airplane over to our left, sun setting to the west. I formation. They're bringing a lot of pressure. There was a lot in the box there. Running back keeps his legs going. Several linebackers come to make the play there, to include number 43. That's Shea Breeze. There's a lot of hype about him going into the game, and he's made a couple spectacular tackles. You know, were just fundamental, head up, tuck, explodes right into the tackle and drives his man down. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. They're not moving. 1 minute left in this one, folks. This play could, and okay, so now Coach Lindbergh calls the final timeout. And so apparently what they did earlier, the timeout that they thought they had called earlier in the half, and that must have been an injury timeout, or actually it was an official's timeout. There's the official word on there. So so these are things that folks you normally can't hear, but with the confines of the school. So if you hear some things that are a little different, just understand that we have some fans that are here, and they are really into this football game, as I'm sure you are, that are listening to the broadcast. All the players that have either already played today or are playing, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you for what you are able to go out there and do. You can do a lot of things in this community, and I appreciate you. And I tell you that to your face when I see you, and I appreciate what you guys have elected to do and playing this game that we love. So at any rate, they're telling him to watch the ball. The ball is snapped. It's a play action fake. He launches the ball deep. It's a pretty spiral. He has 2 guys up. Oh, it's broken up, intended for number 10 there. And a couple defenders there, to include Mitchell back there deep on that particular play. That pass was intended for Owen McClish. And that kid throws a pretty ball. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's a spiral going against the wind, and he's solid. It's a solid quarterback right there. He has good size. He looks like a quarterback. He doesn't just look like a person back there playing quarterback. He looks like a quarterback. So 52.7 seconds in this one. 4th down, 10 to go, 52.7. This could be the final play. We don't know. Let's see. So he goes back in the shotgun. So I'm thinking he might go to the top side receiver as he goes to push down the field. And that's exactly where he goes, and he's nowhere around. That one's picked off. And it's intended for number 30. This could be one of those times where they blow the whistle and he gets hit in number 90. So he spikes the ball, but they let it ride. They let him play. They want him to play some football out here. So, folks, that's an interception. And I don't know, I had the feeling that he was going there. He did, in fact, go there, and apparently the defensive backs saw that that movement. And partially why I felt is based upon the stance of the receiver. So sometimes receivers, when they're as we call it, the hot route, they get down a little deeper in their stance, and they may look straight up the field, or like Charlie Collins, or excellent receiver coach. Gosh, I learned more from that man in one session, and I'll probably learn the rest of my life. You know, Reggie Stover. I mean, these are just wide receiver coaches that have taught so much. Jay Finley, you know, excellent coaches that have done so many things, and they're looking at their route, but they're looking all the way to the goalpost, so that way the defensive back can't pick up on the route, and I was able to actually pick up on that route. And results in the West Coast Lions getting the ball back, and they just take a knee, and they're going to shake hands, and this one's going to end with this score. West Coast Lions 12, San Diego Silverbacks 9. We thank you for being here. Once again, this is Grady Tucker from Highest Level Sports. Check us out at highestlevel.net about all your athletic needs. But this Ldfl game of the week, Lions 12, Silverbacks 9. Great contest. This is one of those things where the running game actually prevailed a little bit more based upon the wind going from left to right for most of this game. And as a great sign of sportsmanship, both teams are out at the middle of the field shaking hands, and they both played an excellent game. Nothing to hang their head about. I will say this, the Silverbacks are a young team, and they're going to build. The Lions are a little bit more of a veteran team, and you know, they took advantage of big plays. And I tell you, you know, the defense, I talked to Coach a little earlier, Clark told me, he says, one of the things that we need to look for is we need a touchdown by our defense, and that's exactly what he got today. So this is another one. You strike this one up as a win. On the scoreboard, there's a win for one team, but it's really a win for both because they both played a solid ball game. They can go back and take some really good notes as far as some things to improve on. I really like this big body quarterback from San Diego. And their offensive lineman, 73, was also a baller. Number 90, I tell you, he was out there today, and I was really impressed by his pressure and his ability to get to the outside and going from the hash marks to the sidelines and then back sometimes, chasing players that were a lot faster than him. But he had very good angles and so forth to take in order to stop the play. So as another sign of sportsmanship, what the teams typically do, they go to the middle, they take off their helmets, they have a quick conversation about the safety and security, and they also take a team prayer. And, you know, depending upon your belief system, that's up to you. But personally, me, I love that. Yeah, maybe sometimes this is the only time a person prays during the week, and if that's the case, then so be it. I don't have a problem with that. But respect all religions, and that's what they do here. And but in this case, it's coming together of individuals and players as they elect to have those conversations. And it's developmental, so they want to have those conversations and say, okay, hey, this is what we did good, this is what we did bad, this is what we need to work on, and so forth. So very impressed with both squads. San Diego folks, the ones that took the time to check into the broadcast, we thank you very much. You are truly appreciated. Those that made the trip, if you watch this on the rebroadcast, we appreciate you as well. We do see you. Lions, this is a family affair around here. They have fun, and that's what they'll tell you, and that's exactly what they do. They got this win today, this 12-9 win, and it's a close win, but it's a win. I don't think you care about the points. I had a great coach that I coached with, and that's almost an understatement, Coach Rycroft. He said, I don't care if it's 99-98 as long as I win, and you know that's kind of how you look at life sometimes. Is you don't care about the score at the end. You just want to make sure that you have the victory. And the victory doesn't always mean the scoreboard. The victory means how you carry yourself on and off the field and how you carry yourself in your daily life. And that's what the Ldfl folks are trying to do here, and I'm very proud of them as they make this mark. And the coaches are having a conversation there and telling them to take the hats off and looking at the game and enjoying it for all of that it's worth. We've had several players that we have, and I talked a little earlier about Armand Starr, and greatly missed. Polo, greatly missed. It was a different league, but some of the same players. Fred Matua, greatly missed. These are folks that have gone on before. And so we have to appreciate all these days. So again, from Briscoe Clark Field in sunny Los Angeles, California, on a slightly windy day, with the final score of 12-9, West Coast Lions over the San Diego Silverbacks. This is Grady Tucker. Have a great one. Travel safe. they know who I want to talk to, and I've already let 13 know, so I probably want to talk to them first. You all locked and loaded? What's our spot? Is that too close or? There's good? Okay, so I'll remember that. So we have a Southwestern. Oh yeah, down here in South.
Hello? Hello?
Once again, folks, LDFL Football of the Week. You know, LDFL, the D stands for developmental, and I am here with quarterback Michael Thomas Jr. Didn't get the win today, but I saw a lot of moxie in this young man and him able to get out there and make some good plays. He was actually throwing against the wind most of the day today in his spirals. I even responded to that or mentioned that during the broadcast. He had tight spirals, and I want to introduce him to the world.
Sir, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm great.
So
I'm
what
great.
brings you out here?
Man, football is what I love. Yeah. Come out here and work my butt off.
Right.
Yeah, see where I can go.
Okay, so you have good size, and I see you're developing your game and so forth. And what are you, about 22?
22, yes, sir.
Okay, 22 years old, and you're out here. That's what it's about. It's developmental football. Young players coming out here.
Yes,
What you about? What, 6'4"?
6'5".
6'5". Okay, he said, "Give me my inch." Right? Okay, I respect that. So, Michael Thomas Jr., 6'5" quarterback out of
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so you know it's one of those things where he looked at an opportunity to play some developmental football and to hone his skills. And the big thing is to go anywhere and play, you have to have some film.
Yes, sir.
You have to be out there on that field. And if you're sitting at home, it's kind of hard
It's really hard.
It's really hard to come back. So, so what do you like to do in your off time, Michael?
Well, man, I work. I got a 2-year-old daughter. So, yeah, just grinding my tail off.
Junior, he said, make sure you get the junior. And what's your baby girl's name?
Stella.
Stella, beautiful baby Stella, I'm sure. Based upon this young man's smile, we just wanted to take a minute. We saw him throw some pretty good passes as he was trying to bring his team back today. Wasn't quite able to do it, but I looked at him, and he's a leader, and we really appreciate him. So, Michael, good on you. We'll be talking to you more.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next, we're going to bring up another player here, and Big Sean Foreman here, and we talked about him during the broadcast. Big number 90. Now, the earlier gentleman, he was number 1 on your roster, and here you got big number 90. And man, I saw you going from sideline to sideline. Man, where do you get all that energy?
Man, I think it's really my team. We got Lim over here. He's a big motivator for the team, and just a constant grind with our defense. Just we try to be on top of our game, and I know, like, honestly, I couldn't do anything without those guys. I played a lot of football over the years, probably about 18 years of just straight football, and this is definitely the best group of defensive guys I've ever been with.
Okay, I saw at halftime, it looks like, and I even mentioned it during the broadcast, I said, you know, when they come over and every coach is over there and every player is checking on this one person, that means that they're a baller. So I said I was going to keep an eye on you, and I'm glad I did. I saw you out there making some big plays. I saw your reads. I saw your hand coming out of the dirt and you getting over reading your keys and so forth, and just reading down the line of scrimmage and making your plays, chasing the quarterback out of the pocket, making him turn around and making big plays. So I just wanted to give you really a shout out and tell you I really appreciate you. I know you didn't get the win today, but you won in my book just based upon your intensity, and I can really appreciate you.
Next time.
Where'd you play at?
I played, so in high school, I played in a small town, Kerrville, Texas, where I learned my fundamentals. And then I wasn't the greatest student, but I was humble enough to go play at Blaine Junior College over in Brenham, and I was gonna try to move up to D1, which I'd been talking to a few coaches, and I met the love of my life and went and got married. Tried to settle down, but the game just calls me back every time. As much as I try to pull away, it's just like, come here.
I love it. So you have one player that has a beautiful baby Stella, then you have this young man, he just met the love of his life, and we would be remiss if we did not allow you to give her a shout out.
Yeah, this is from my wife, Faith. Love you, baby.
All right, gotta like this guy. I'm a fan here, folks. So, like I said, we didn't get the win today, but you won the hearts of the people. The folks that are in San Diego were really chiming in and really enjoyed your work ethic and your sideline to sideline. And you keep it up, and we look forward to seeing you more.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
see y'all later.
Yes, sir. So now that brings up, you know, after we look at the game, and it's a 12 to 9 final here, and we look at it and we say, you know, what did we learn here? from the developmental perspective? What did we learn? So we talked to both coaches at halftime, and we determined that we talked to San Diego, and they said, hey, we have a young team. We want to build on this. We want to change the complexion of what we do. And they did that. We can see that. And it's not always about the score at the end of the game. It's about the development and what you've actually learned and which you can now take back to your teams. And now you build on that and you say, okay, look, we break down tape. Now, many folks look at tape and all they want to say is, ooh, that's my hit, that's my run, that's my catch. But no, this is how you break down tape. What did we do well? Put that to the side. What can we improve upon? And then you make sure that you don't make those mistakes. So now we have with us number 13, and the reason that I bring him over today is he had a big interception that he actually took back to the house. So one of the things that I always say when you make a play at any level, and as a professional coach, I always said this: make a good play great. So the interception is a good play. To crib it, take it all the way back to the house, that's making a great play. So how'd you feel after that?
Good. Honestly, I just let my block set up and then took it to the house. Right. I needed them, though. I wouldn't have been able to get to the house without them blocks.
I got you. Something else that I noticed, and you'll see it during the broadcast, is one of your teammates on the offensive side of the ball made a play. And guess who the first person was to go over there and congratulate him?
I'm assuming it was me.
It was you. And why is that?
I like to see my guys eat. If one eating, we are eating.
That's right, and that's how you get those wins, right? So I'm real proud of you. I saw you actually out there at the looked like the Z receiver a little bit for a second, just out there filling around. So that tells me that you're an athlete. So I'm pretty impressed about that as well. And I know I've spoken to your coaching staff, and they spoke pretty highly of you. So I'm going to let you get back to the celebration with your teammates. I just wanted to acknowledge you and tell you I'm very proud of you. You keep doing what you do. And for the LDFL Game of the Week, this is Grady Tucker. We appreciate you coming out. Until next time.